Hi everyone. So now we start our discussion on the further topic of expansion and consolidation of the British power in India. So we have already talked about the Mysore and the Marathas. We have seen how the two major powers and the regions were now under the control of the British. Of course, the eastern side, the Bengal side was already there. अब क्या होने लगा? They started to look for beyond the Indian frontiers. So you had like Nepal, Burma, Afghanistan. Also there were relations about like Bhutan के साथ में, ठीक है? तो there are many other regions also, but we will talk about these three major ones because ये तीन जो हैं वो आपके prominent में आते हैं. So let's understand about how the things happened. पूरी story है and you just need to pick the important factual information from there. वो आप आराम से कर लीजिएगा, ठीक है? Once you understand the whole story. So let's now get into that groove of the whole story. So British expansion beyond the Indian frontiers. Now see what was happening. By 1818 what happened? Marathas की defeat हो गई. So with the defeat of the Marathas and पेशवा जो हैं उनको pensioning के लिए बोल दिया गया था that you would now only be the pensioner. So with the defeat and the pensioning of the Peshwa, the British supremacy in India was now complete. In the sense that they had conquered almost whole of India except Sindh and Punjab. और ये हमारा नेक्स्ट क्लास का टॉपिक है, सिंध एंड पंजाब का कॉन्करेंस, बिकॉज हम थोड़ा क्रोनोलॉजी ऑल्सो वी आर फॉलोइंग. सो इन द इंडियन कॉन्टिनेंट इफ़ यू से सो, बिकॉज अगर आप ऐसे देखोगे तो ईस्टर्न साइड में बंगाल एंड द नियर बाई रीजन्स वॉज डन, वेस्टर्न साइड में मराठाज सॉर्टेड एंड सदर्न में माइसोर सॉर्टेड एंड ऑफकोर्स द नियर बाई रीजन्स ऑल्सो सॉर्टेड. तो बच क्या रहा है? ऊपर नदर्न साइड में आपका पंजाब सिंध रीजन, ठीक है? सो इंडिया में इट वॉज ऑलमोस्ट डन. Now East India Company also started to now use India as a base to expand its control over the lands of South Asia and Southeast Asia. बाकी countries में भी अब इन्होंने देखना शुरू कर दिया, आसपास जो neighboring countries हैं उसमें देखना शुरू कर दिया that now we will expand our control. So let's understand what are the reasons for the expansion beyond the Indian frontiers. Of course, how the expansion happened is a different story that we'll just take. But firstly तो हमें समझना होगा that what are the reasons for the expansion. A major reason was that they wanted to shift their financial base of the company, of course, from trade to the land revenue. Now you know that when they came here, when they came to India, the main purpose was the trading purpose. So the entire financial base they were getting from the trade perspective. अब shift करना था to the land revenue. How they wanted to do? So here the problem was that they wanted to face some challenge. They were facing actually, not they wanted to, but they were facing some challenges and they wanted to overcome that. So what were those challenges which they faced in the trade? Because trade was their only source of income. By far they were focusing only on the trade. So they were having some challenges with that. First was about the Bengal famine, which occurred in the 1770s. Then there was effect on the trade with China. Now with China they were actually having very profitable trade. The British East India Company, they were having very profitable trade. But the problem with this trade was that the Chinese were selling their goods only in exchange for silver. So they were telling, China was telling that we will give you goods only if you give us silver. ठीक है, क्योंकि बाटर सिस्टम में वो काम कर रहे थे. अब सिल्वर के साथ प्रॉब्लम क्या थी? Silver was provided otherwise from the Bengal treasury. British was kind of using the Bengal treasury because now Bengal was under them and they were using the silver and they were giving it to China and then China से सामान आ रहा था. Now the problem was कि एक तो Bengal में famine हो गया. The other thing was that Bengal में now the treasury, from the treasury they were not able to get that much of a silver. Why? एक तो problem ये होने लगी that because of the industrial revolution in England, because that was expanding then. So the other, you would say, people who were indulged in the factory and the business and the production, they demanded that there should be end to the trade monopoly of East India Company in the East, because till now it was the only company that was allowed to trade. अब क्या होने लगा? Declining income थी from the trade and they were indulging in different armed conflict within nearby regions also. So there was increase in expenditure. Then the financial base began to shift from trade and commerce to the land revenue because the problem was this only Bengal treasury. और यहाँ पर बंगाल फेमीन होने के बाद से बंगाल से पैसा जो है वो कम मिल पा रहा था उनको. So now they decided to shift from trade to the land revenue and they decided कि अब हम business of trade के जगह business of government पर focus करेंगे. and therefore they understood that because they wanted to shift or they wanted to have this change, there is a need of the territorial expansion, and they decided to expand in the nearby regions also. Okay, another reason was need to obtain spices from Southeast Asia for the trade. They, तो ये जो हमने देखा कि विद डिप्लीशन हो रहा था ना बंगाल वेल्थ का, ठीक है. So with depletion of the Bengal wealth, another problem was because they had to pay China in silver. So firstly what they started to do, they started to replace the silver with opium, कि चलो हम आपको कुछ ऐसा प्रोडक्ट देंगे with which also you would be ready to have trade with us. नहीं तो सिल्वर अब इनको मिल नहीं पा रहा था. So firstly they replaced the silver with opium, and they were getting opium from the central region of India, the Malwa region. And secondly, they also wanted to obtain costly spices like clove from Southeast Asia, ठीक है, इंडोनेशिया वगैरह रीजन से, ताकि they could sell it in China and Europe. So they understood that India में तो control is very important, but they also would need to have control in the Southeast Asia. Then need for new market and supplies, pretty obvious, and need to safeguard Indian empire and the trade routes to China and India. They understood that covering or strategically expanding themselves in the nearby region would help them to secure their trade route both to China and to India. If some other European power would take care of that or take over that, it would be problematic for them. This is what they understood. So things started with different countries, but as I said, हम 3 major expansions पे बात करेंगे. First, let's start with the Anglo-Nepalese relations. नेपाल आपको पता ही है कहाँ है located. अब यहाँ पे स्टोरी क्या कहती है, ठीक है. सो एंग्लो नेपाल वॉर विच हैपेंड बिटवीन 1814-16 एंड लॉर्ड हास्टिंग्स वाज द गवर्नर जनरल देन. नाउ व्हाट इज द हिस्टोरिकल कॉन्टेक्स्ट इन द केस ऑफ नेपाल? सो हियर, सो द पीपल हु वर लिविंग इन द गोरखा हिल टाउन, दे वर नोन एज द गोरखास, ठीक है. सो 1768 में व्हाट हैपेंड, द गोरखास दे took over the control of the Kathmandu. Kathmandu is the present capital of Nepal. तो वहाँ पर जो काठमांडू रीजन था उसका कंट्रोल इन्होंने ले लिया फ्रॉम द सक्सेसर्स ऑफ रंजीत मल्ला ऑफ भक्तगांव. Now who was Ranjit Malla? He was the king then, king of Nepal, and it is just a town of Nepal. So Gorkhas took over that control, and Gorkhas, after taking control of the Kathmandu, they started to, or they tried to expand themselves beyond the mountainous regions in Nepal. बट द प्रॉब्लम वॉज एज दे वर, लेट्स से अगर आप लोकेशन देखते हो तो आपको पता है कि यहाँ पर ठीक है नेपाल है, उसके ऊपर आपका तिब्बत चाइना रीजन जो है. सो नेपाल से इफ़ दे वर ट्राइंग टू लेट्स से एक्सपैंड इन द नियर बाई रीजन्स, सो उसके ऊपर में फ्रॉम नॉर्थ द प्रॉब्लम दे वर फेसिंग वॉज फ्रॉम द चाइनीज. दे वर नॉट ऑफकोर्स easily agreeing for them to expand. So they started to look towards, if this is Nepal, they started to look towards either Bengal and then either Awadh, ठीक है. अब प्रॉब्लम क्या होने लगा, बंगाल और अवध में इंडियन साइड ऑलरेडी देयर वाज सुप्रीमेसी ऑफ द ब्रिटिश, सो दे केम इन कॉन्टैक्ट एंड क्लैश विद द ब्रिटिश इन इंडिया. दिस इज़ व्हाट वी आर ट्राइंग टू सी कि आखिर नेपाल के साथ ब्रिटिश की भिड़ंत कैसे हुई. एंग्लो वॉर हुआ वो तो बात की बात है, दैट इज़ द लेटर कॉन्टेक्स्ट दैट वाई दे हैड अ क्लैश एंड द वॉर हैपेंड. बट द होल आइडिया फर्स्ट वॉज दैट दे विल, हाउ डिड दे कम इन कॉन्टैक्ट विद ईच अदर फर्स्ट, ठीक है. सो नेपाल वॉज ट्राइंग टू एक्सपैंड. From the north, it was getting issues from China. So when it looked towards the Indian regions like Bengal and Awadh, here the British presence was there, and therefore they faced problem. I hope the story should be clear by now. Next, what happened in 1801? Governor General Wellesley, who was so much enthusiastic about the subsidiary alliance system, forced this Hindu Gorkha kingdom to sign the Treaty of Subsidiary Alliance and accept a British resident at Kathmandu. अब इन्होंने मजबूरी में कर भी लिया. नेपाल थोड़ी वीक पावर थी ऑफकोर्स एज कम्पेयर टू द ब्रिटिश, बिकॉज देयर वॉज एक्सपेंशन ऑफ ब्रिटिश ऑल्सो. ब्रिटिश ऑल्सो वॉन्टेड टू एक्सपैंड. नो ब्रिटिश वॉन्टेड टू एक्सपैंड टू टेक कंट्रोल ऑफ द नियर बाई रीजन्स, एंड यहाँ से नेपाल वॉन्टेड टू एक्सपैंड इन दी बंगाल एंड द अवध रीजन विच वॉज अंडर द कंट्रोल ऑफ ब्रिटिश. सो द क्लैश वॉज वेरी एविडेंट टू हैव हैपेंड. नाउ इन 1803 द रेसिडेंट, ठीक है, जो काठमांडू में यहाँ पर था, द रेसिडेंट लेफ्ट बिकॉज ही वॉज फेसिंग वेरी मच प्रॉब्लम फ्रॉम नेपाल. अब इसको अच्छा नहीं लग रहा था और ही सेड कि नेपाल से मुझे सपोर्ट नहीं मिल रहा सही से, दे आर नॉट ट्रीटिंग मी, इट्स हॉस्टाइल रिलेशन, एंड द रेसिडेंट लेफ्ट. तो कॉजेज जो हैं ऑफ द वॉर, बेसिकली फर्स्ट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इज दैट द ब्रिटिश वॉज हैविंग दिस फ्रंटियर पॉलिसी बिकॉज दे वॉन्टेड टू have control over the nearby regions, and they looked at Nepal as stable buffer state. बिटवीन इंडिया एंड द तिब्बत रीजन ऑफ चाइना. ठीक है, तो यहाँ इंडिया है, यहाँ तिब्बत रीजन है, यहाँ पर नेपाल है. तो इनको समझ में आ रहा था कि ये एक बफर रीजन की तरह काम करेगा, ये हमें बचा के सब चीज़ से रखेगा. बॉर्डर डिस्प्यूट्स ऑफकोर्स वर देयर, अभी भी चल रहा होता है. एंड द एक्सपेंशनिस्ट पॉलिसी ऑफ इंग्लिश ऑल्सो एंड द गोरखाज ऑल्सो, दे बोथ वॉन्टेड टू एक्सपैंड इन देयर ओन रीजन्स के साथ में, अपने अपने आसपास के रीजन में दे वॉन्टेड टू एक्सपैंड. नाउ व्हाट हैपेंड इन दिस वॉर? इमीडिएट कॉन्टेक्स्ट में क्या हुआ? मई 1814 में द गोरखाज अटैक्ड 3 पुलिस स्टेशंस ऑफ बुटवाल रीजन विच वॉज एक्चुअली अंडर ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी देन. तो अब डायरेक्ट क्लैश जो है वो हो गया बिटवीन दी नेपाल एंड दी बिटवीन द नेपालीज एंड द English. Now Governor General Hastings launched this Nepal war then, and he said that we will not accept this. Of course the hill people resisted, they were not happy with what was happening, but this is how things went. And the important battles associated with the war is Butwal, Almora, Malao and Makwanpur. You just need to know the names that these are related to the Nepalese war, Anglo-Nepalese war, so that in case they ask you some question in prelims, you're good to go with the answer. And all these battles were fought in the favor of English. ठीक है, it's what already in their hands now. So of course it led to the defeat of Nepalis, and whenever there will be a defeat there will be a signing of a treaty. So here the treaty that was signed was Treaty of Sugauli. ठीक है, ये आपने नेपाल डिस्प्यूट जब मतलब बॉर्डर डिस्प्यूट विथ नेपाल अभी 2 साल पहले जब न्यूज़ में था, देन ऑल्सो you would, if you would have followed the current affairs, you would have come across this Treaty of Sugauli, and you will come across this again if you study about Indo-Nepal relations also. So Nepal accepted, based on this treaty, Nepal accepted a British resident, and they had to cede the districts of Garhwal and Kumaon to the British. They had to abandon their claims to Tarai, that in the Tarai region अब हमारा कोई claim नहीं है, and also they had to withdraw from Sikkim where they were stationing. What are the advantages of this Anglo-Nepalese war in this case, you know, for them? So British के लिए ये advantages किस तरीके से रहा? Firstly, they reached Himalayas, ठीक है. Then they had got now better trade facilities with the Central Asia. They acquired the sites for the hill stations. इनको मिल गए आसपास के सारे region पे control, like Shimla, Mussoorie, Nainital, etc. Gorkhas now, because they now got under the control of the British, so they joined British Indian Army in large numbers. You will come across this again जब हम सिपाहीज की बात करेंगे, ठीक है, when we'll talk about the revolt of 1857. Then Nepal maintained neutrality during the revolt of 1857, क्योंकि नेपाल against भी नहीं जा पा रहा था और साथ भी नहीं दे पा रहा था. So they had certain advantages to the British. So that was about the Anglo-Nepalese war or the relations. Let's understand what was happening in the case of Burma. ठीक है, जो आपका प्रेजेंट डे म्यांमार है ना, उसी को बर्मा यहाँ पर बोला जा रहा है. सो एंग्लो बर्मीज रिलेशंस, वी हैव सीन दैट दे वांटेड टू एक्सपैंड देमसेल्व्स इन साउथ ईस्ट एशिया. ठीक है, दैट वी हैव सीन ऑलरेडी. नाउ व्हाट वाज द बैकग्राउंड इन दिस केस? सो 19th सेंचुरी के बिगनिंग में बर्मा वाज एक्चुअली अ फ्री कंट्री एंड इट जस्ट वांटेड टू एक्सपैंड वेस्टवर्ड. ठीक है, वेस्टवर्ड एज इन की इंडिया की तरफ. Now British was also having its expansionist urge, the same kind of thing that happened in Nepal. Nepal में भी Gorkhas were wanting to expand, यहाँ पर Burma was also wanting to expand, और British तो थे ही, they also having their expansionist policies. Other thing that they attracted by was the forest resources of Burma. They also could see that Burma was acting as a great market for the British manufacturers. Then they needed to check the French ambitions in Burma also, that if France is getting interested in Burma, we will not let that happen. And Southeast Asia maybe they did not want France to take any place. So this is the background of the relations. ठीक है. Next, what happened? So how did this first Anglo-Burmese war happen? 1824 to 26, Lord Amherst was the Governor General. Now during this time 1823-24, what happened? The Burmese military entered Assam and Manipur region, Indian side में, and they prepared to attack because they were also wanting to expand themselves. So they entered this region and they prepared to attack the Chittagong region. A problem ये थी that the territories that they were entering or were preparing to attack, they were the claimed territories by English in India. क्योंकि ये आपका ईस्टर्न साइड का, अब ये सारा कुछ उधर बंगाल में आ रहा था उस टाइम पे. ठीक है, द नियर बाई रीजन्स ऑफ बंगाल, बिहार, उड़ीसा साइड का, थोड़ा आसाम का रीजन, सब कुछ दैट वाज इन द बंगाल प्रोविंस ओनली. सो दैट वाज अंडर द कंट्रोल ऑफ ब्रिटिश. सो दीज टेरिटरीज वर क्लेम्ड बाय इंग्लिश इन इंडिया. So of course the British Indian Army will not sit quiet and would let the Burmese take over. So they retaliated to Burma and they attacked Burma in 1824. And the Burmese force got defeated. So the king of the Burma was forced to sign the peace treaty, that was Treaty of Yandabo. ठीक है, ये सब आपको नाम याद रखने, that which treaty is related to which war or at least like with which country. अब यहाँ पर in this treaty the clauses were like the Burmese had to pay ₹1 crore. खैर you can ignore the amount, that is okay. Just remember that war compensation, indemnity या compensation term use करते हैं. So the Burmese had to pay the war compensation. ठीक है. Also they had to cede the coastal provinces of Arakan and Tenasserim. अब यहाँ पर क्या होने लगा कि जो भी कोस्टल प्रोविंसेस थे, अब जैसे कि ये 2 रीजन्स हैं, ठीक है, ये आपका रफ मैंने बनाया है आपका बर्मा म्यांमार का मैप में, अराकान एंड आपका टेनासेरिम रीजन जो है. तो यहाँ पर क्या हुआ, कोस्टल प्रोविंसेस हैं तो इसको देना पड़ा इनको, ठीक है, ब्रिटिश को. ऑल्सो दे हैड टू अबैंडन द क्लेम्स ऑन आसाम कि यू नो इफ दे वर वांटिंग टू क्लेम, नाउ दे कुडंट क्लेम एंड द नियर बाय रीजन्स अब वो नहीं कर सकते थे. दे ऑल्सो हैड टू रिकॉग्नाइज मणिपुर एज एन इंडिपेंडेंट स्टेट कि हमारे कंट्रोल में नहीं है, इंडिपेंडेंट है, ब्रिटिश अपने हिसाब से अब इसमें जो भी करे. They also had to negotiate the commercial treaty with Britain. They had to accept a British resident क्योंकि पूरे टाइम में subsidiary alliance was very famous and we will do once we finish you know the Punjab and the Sikh conquest, all of that. Then British resident उनको accept करना पड़ा at Ava, which is the capital here in this case, and they also posted a Burmese envoy at Calcutta. So ये सारी चीज़ें हुई under the Treaty of Yandabo. Even if you do not remember all of that, that would be okay. Just remember that the Treaty of Yandabo is related to the first Anglo-Burmese war. Second, you remember that who was the Governor General then. At least these 2 major things so you will have to remember. Next, what happened? ऐसा नहीं है कि बर्मा के साथ एक ही बार में वॉर होकर के, नेपाल के साथ जैसे once and for all it was sorted, but with Burma things continued to happen. 1839 में द ब्रिटिश रेसिडेंट लेफ्ट. यहाँ पे भी जो ब्रिटिश रेसिडेंट की बात हुई ना, ही ऑल्सो लेफ्ट अगेन काइंड ऑफ द सेम थिंग जो नेपाल के केस में हुआ था, बिकॉज ही क्लेम्ड दैट आई वॉज गेटिंग पुअर ट्रीटमेंट फ्रॉम द बर्मीज. लेकिन Burma was a major supplier. By now, Burma had become a major supplier of timber and important products like tin, pepper, ivory, etc. for the British. Also, now the Governor General was Lord Dalhousie here during this time. So he was again very much, interested in imperialism, expansion, etc. Then the British commercial needs were being met from this region. So they understood कि we will not go this region just let go of this region. No. They attacked on Burma and annexed Rangoon and Peru, which is the lower Burma. तो स्टार्टिंग में तो पहले आपका ये 2 रीजन कंट्रोल हुआ था, फिर आपका बाकी और रीजन्स इन द लोअर पार्ट ऑफ द बर्मा एंड देन रीजन अप टू टोंगू बाय 1853. इट्स ओके इफ यू डोंट नो द प्लेसेस, दैट वुड बी ओके. जस्ट रिमेंबर दैट दे कवर द लोअर पार्ट ऑफ बर्मा मोस्टली एंड देन कंट्रोल ओवर एंटायर बे ऑफ बंगाल कोस्ट. ठीक है. So Burmese king was now forced to shift his capital to Mandalay. कैपिटल पहले कहाँ पर था, कैपिटल आवा था, कंट्रोल हो गया, मैंडले उसको शिफ्ट करना पड़ा. But still nothing as such conclusive was there. It is just that they were now expanding more and more in Burma. But next, what happened in the case of the third Anglo-Burmese war? Now English attacked Burma on the pretext that the king, who was the son of the earlier king, मतलब जैसे उस टाइम पर लेट्स से जो भी राजा रह रहा है उसका जो बेटा है, क्योंकि ये राजा फिर जब डेथ हो जाती है तो जो अगला बच्चा है उसका, द सन ऑफ द किंग, वॉज इंट्रीगिंग विद द फ्रांस इन वियतनाम. बेसिकली द देन किंग, द देन प्रेजेंट किंग ऑफ बर्मा. तो ब्रिटिश ने क्लेम करा कि वो जो राजा है वो फ्रांस के साथ बातें कर रहा है इन वियतनाम टू वीकन द इंग्लिश कंट्रोल ओवर दैट ईस्टर्न, आई मीन द एशियन रीजन, द साउथ ईस्ट एशियन रीजन. तो एंड इंग्लिश और फ्रांस का तो आपस में इशू था ही. सो डेफिनेटली दे वुड नॉट लेट दीज थिंग्स easily get carried away. So they attacked and the English got victorious. They now annexed the upper Burma also. जो बचा हुआ था अपर बर्मा उसको भी कंट्रोल कर लिया. Who was the governor general then? Lord Dufferin. एंड यहाँ पर प्रोविंस बर्मा जो है नाउ इट बिकेम अ पार्ट ऑफ द प्रोविंस ऑफ द ब्रिटिश इंडिया और न्यू ब्रिटिश इंडिया. आफ्टर फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर द बर्मीज नेशनलिस्ट जॉइंड हैंड्स विद INC. ये थोड़ा सा बस लेटर पार्ट का है, बट जस्ट एज अ कंप्लीशन ऑफ द स्टोरी यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड. जब फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर का टाइम आने लगा तो बर्मीज नेशनलिस्ट जो हैं दे वर ऑफकोर्स नॉट हैप्पी विद द वे ब्रिटिश वॉज ट्रीटिंग देम, सो दे जॉइंड हैंड्स विद द इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस. Now, to weaken this link, Burma was separated from India in 1935. British understood that if Burma would now join hands with Congress and maybe if they do something together, it will be a problem for us. So 1935 में उसको separate कर दिया गया. Then nationalist movement in Burma intensified during the Second World War, and finally Burma got its independence in January 1948. So India got in August 1947. Burma got its independence in January 1948. This is how we sum up the Anglo-Burmese relations also. Now the last one in the series, ये थोड़ा सा लंबा होगा, so have patience, and let's now understand about the Anglo-Afghan relations, but this is very important. And you know, these historical backgrounds also help you in understanding the present international relations जो आप GS2 में cover करते हो. Let's say अगर आपको Indo-Afghan relation समझना है तो आपको थोड़ा सा ये background help ज़रूर करेगी. अब यहाँ पे बैकग्राउंड में बात आती है थ्रेट फ्रॉम रशिया की. नाउ हाउ डज दिस कम इनटू पिक्चर? नाउ सी व्हाट वाज हैपनिंग इन द 19th century. देयर वर डिप्लोमेटिक कॉम्पिटिशंस गोइंग ऑन बिटवीन ब्रिटिश एंड द रशियन एम्पायर्स बिकॉज बोथ ऑफ देम वांटेड टू हैव देयर ओन स्फीयर्स ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंस इन एशिया. प्रॉब्लम वॉज दैट एनी रशियन एडवांस इनटू सेंट्रल एशिया, अगर रशिया जो है वो सेंट्रल एशिया में आ रहा है, so any advance was assumed to be directed towards conquest of India. Even if let's say Russia was entering for some other purpose, it was considered by Britain that they are just trying to conquest India and because they want to have their own control. Then 19th century में Russia came up with a mission also. It said that we have a special mission in the east. Then again of course it triggered the British कि इंडिया हमारे कंट्रोल से कहीं निकल ना जाए. So 1837 में Lord Palmerston, who was the British Foreign Secretary there in India, he feared the instability of Afghanistan, Sindh and the increasing power of Sikh in the northwest. वहाँ पर अपने इश्यूज चल रहे थे, पाकिस्तान सिंध रीजन के अपने इंस्टेबल इश्यूज चल रहे थे. सिक्स की पावर जो है वो इंक्रीज हो रही थी नॉर्थ वेस्ट में. फिर उसको लगा दैट यू नो यहाँ पर इफ़ देयर इज़ पॉसिबल रशियन इन्वेजन इन द ब्रिटिश इंडिया थ्रू अफगानिस्तान, देन देयर विल बी अ प्रॉब्लम. Because Afghanistan was then considered only entrance to India from the Central Asia. अगर आपको प्रेजेंट डे मैप भी पता है तो यहाँ इंडिया है, यहाँ पाकिस्तान है, यहाँ चलिए पाकिस्तान तो बाद में बना, बट ठीक है इंडिया है, फिर अफगानिस्तान है, एंड ये जो आपका पूरा सेंट्रल एशियन रीजन है. सो यहाँ से दैट इज़ द ओनली लिंक. ठीक है, अफगानिस्तान इज़ द ओनली लिंक. सो दे कैन नॉट ईजिली लेट गो ऑफ अफगानिस्तान. दे अंडरस्टूड वाई. सो बेसिकली अफगानिस्तान के साथ रिलेशन डेवलप होने का रीज़न वॉज द फियर from the threat, I mean what they felt was coming from Russia, Russian invasion को लेकर के. So how did the British react to this Russian threat, which they could see कि if they are coming to east, it is about India. So there were certain policies, you know, in which they reacted, and at different points we will read about these two different policies. अलग अलग time frame पे हुआ, but firstly understand how did they react. The first one was forward policy of the Governor General Auckland. ठीक है. Here, according to this forward policy क्या बोलती है? That the company government in India, which means East India Company government in India, itself had to take initiatives to protect the boundary of British India from a probable Russian attack. इसने क्या क्या साफ साफ बोला कि आपको इनिशिएटिव्स लेने होंगे टू प्रोटेक्ट द बाउंड्री ऑफ ब्रिटिश इंडिया. ठीक है, हम खुद ही कंपनी विल इटसेल्फ take initiatives if they want to protect the boundary from a probable Russian attack. Now, the steps could be either in the form of treaties or by completely annexing it. They did not, it was like by any means we need to have control over this region. ठीक है, this view was held by the conservatives group in Britain. Another group believed, the liberals जो हैं उनका another group था which believed in this policy of masterly inactivity, which was actually put forward by the Governor General John Lawrence. It is also called a stationary school. According to this policy, they believed that we should reach a diplomatic understanding with Russia and a policy of non-intervention with respect to Afghanistan. कि हमें रशिया के साथ बातचीत करके सुलह मशवरा करके बात बढ़ानी चाहिए. ठीक है, एंड अफगानिस्तान में वी शुड नॉट इंटरवीन, हमें इस बीच में यहाँ पर इंटरवीन ही नहीं करना चाहिए. द प्रॉब्लम वॉज दैट यू नो इन द लेटर फेज दिस पॉलिसी वॉज यूज्ड बट इन सम अदर कॉन्टेक्स्ट. सो दिस पॉलिसी वॉज एक्चुअली सीन एज अ रिएक्शन टू द डिजास्टर्स ऑफ द फर्स्ट अफगान वॉर. तो ये हम देखेंगे जब हम आगे इस पॉलिसी पे बात करेंगे व्हेन दिस हैपेंड. So this was actually a reaction to the disasters of the first Afghan war. Now what happened in this? So ये तो दो policies है. They might ask you that it is related to like which context. Nowadays prelims के लिए you have to be prepared with every possible factual question. चलिए अब देखते हैं what happened in the case of first Afghan war. 1839-1842 Lord Auckland was the Governor General. So here, because now we have seen that British considered Afghanistan as a buffer state. Of course they understood. Now this buffer state was not only against Russia but also against Napoleonic France, because France में Napoleon Bonaparte जो है वो फिर expansion के लिए वो भी move कर रहा था and he looked towards India. तो इनको समझ में आया कि अफगानिस्तान हमें बचा सकता है, बिकॉज वो बीच में सेंट्रल एशिया से रिलेट कर रहा है, यूरोप से रिलेट कर रहा है, तो वो हमें बचा सकता है. और ज़ारिस्ट रशिया से तो है ही. एंड बिकेम over anxious. Now this person became over anxious to protect Afghanistan, कि इसको हमारे फेवर में बचा के रखो. So at that point the Afghan ruler, the term for which is Amir, was Dost Muhammad. ठीक है, these terminologies also at times are asked in the paper, so remember them. So Dost Muhammad made the friendship with British. I mean, he was not very interested, but still he thought that okay, if I have to make friendship with you, I will keep it conditional. So he said to British that if you help me to recover Peshawar from the Sikhs, क्योंकि उस टाइम पे सिक्स का भी दबदबा हो रहा था in the region, ठीक है, तो इन्होंने बोला that if you help us to recover the Peshawar region from the Sikhs, then only I will let you have control over Afghanistan. But Auckland ने क्या बोला? He was not ready to do this, so he maintained neutrality कि no, I am not I'm not going to help you in this, or I cannot help you in this, whatever. Now of course Dost Muhammad did not like it and he wanted to secure his kingdom from the Sikhs, so he turned to Russia. वही है ना, दुश्मन का दुश्मन भी दोस्त होता है, something like that. So he understood that okay, Russia से help मिल सकती है, so he turned to Russia for help. Now British of course noticed the threat here, that अगर रशिया हेल्प करने लगेगी, जैसे मैसूर में फ्रांस was helping, so the problem would be there. So the British sent Captain Alexander Burnes to Kabul अभी आपका कैपिटल है प्रेजेंट डे, तो अफगानिस्तान में, in 1837 to judge the political situation there. ठीक है, he just did this in the name of some commercial relation, but the main reason was to check that what kind of a political situation was existing in Afghanistan then. Now after judging the political situation in Afghanistan, what Burnes said that Dost Muhammad still wanted British help but only on the condition, ठीक है, that he had put, and Auckland was continuously denying it, was not ready to use it. So Burnes returned to India in 1838 and it became the cause of the first Afghan war, because they had the concern for imperial defiance and a search for scientific borders. They anyways were there that how imperial orders को कोई defy कर रहा है, and एक scientific border की हमें ज़रूरत है जो कि अफगानिस्तान बफर स्टेट की तरह काम कर सकता है. एंड ऑफ कोर्स द फेलियर ऑफ द बर्न्स मिशन, ठीक है, ये जो सिक्योर करने गया था मेन पर्पस की दोस्त मोहम्मद को किसी तरह मना लो, कन्विंस कर लो, ही वॉज नॉट एबल टू कन्विंस दोस्त मोहम्मद एंड ही वॉज स्टिल एडमेंट दैट आई विल help you only if you help me secure Peshawar from Sikhs, but Auckland was denying it. ठीक है, so यहाँ पर failure भी हो गया and then other issues were also there. Now what happened further? After failure of this mission, Auckland decided with the forward policy. ये forward policy अभी आपको पढ़ाया, ठीक है, कि अब कुछ भी करके you have to protect our boundary from the Russian attack. अब treaty करो, annexation करो, जो भी करो. So he decided to go ahead with the forward policy and he decided to depose Dost Muhammad. Deposing means removing from the throne. ठीक है, and entrust the country in hands of some friendly prince. He understood कि ये Dost Muhammad is not favorable to us. Remove him from his position and let's have some other friendly prince in the case of Dost Muhammad who would take care of the Afghanistan country. Then he went into this tripartite treaty. Tripartite means three powers would be involved. So June 1838 में between English, शाह सूजा कौन था? Who was the ex-Afghanistan ruler, the former Afghanistan ruler, and रंजीत सिंह, ठीक है, जो आपके पंजाब के राजा थे, इनके साथ मिलके ये ट्रीटी करी. सो द कंबाइंड फोर्सेस ऑफ दीज थ्री, जिनको आर्मी ऑफ द इंडस भी बोला जाता है, दे लॉन्च्ड एन अटैक ऑन काबुल. दोस्त मोहम्मद भाग गया, ठीक है, तो डर के जब वो भाग गया तो ऑफकोर्स एक्स अफगानिस्तान रूलर से यहाँ पर ट्रीटी करी थी, तो इसी को राजा बनाया जाएगा. सो दिस शाह सूजा वॉज नाउ प्लेस्ड ऑन द अफगान थ्रोन. बट द प्रॉब्लम वॉज दैट टू द पीपल्स इन अफगान or Afghanistan or to the Afghans, the Shah Shuja was not acceptable. They were not ready to accept him as their Raja. So the Afghans rose in rebellion. Now, because of their rebellion, the British was compelled to sign a treaty 1841 में with the Afghan chiefs. Yet they had no other choice. And the British had to somehow agree to evacuate Afghanistan. कि चलो हम छोड़ेंगे मजबूरी में, ठीक है, and restore दोस्त मोहम्मद. September 1842, British reoccupied Kabul. Somehow they tried to again, reoccupy Kabul, and they arrived at a settlement with Dost Muhammad. But here the problem was that because they were evacuated from Kabul and they, had to recognize him as the independent ruler. Issues actually here happened after his death, after Dost Muhammad death, ठीक है, 1863 में. And this wala case, 1842 wala case, that happened under Ellenborough, who replaced Auckland as the Governor General. I'm just giving you this information in between so that it becomes handy to you. चलिए, डेथ भी हो गई 1863 में. और अब यहाँ पर आगे क्या प्रॉब्लम हुआ. As a reaction to the disasters of the first Afghan war, that बुरी तरीके से the British had to compelled to sign a treaty and they had to evacuate, and they just had to, it was a very very bad situation for them, very pathetic situation for them. So John Lawrence now started a policy of masterly activity. आपने पढ़ा हुआ है इस पॉलिसी के बारे में, अभी आपको पढ़ाया था, ठीक है, 2 policies that we discussed. So now the situation was that John Lawrence decided कि this is how not the things can go ahead. So he decided to go ahead with the policy of masterly inactivity, in which they had 2 conditions. One, that you need to maintain peace or establish peace at the frontier, and that should not be disturbed. Another, no candidate in the civil war should seek foreign help. Next, what happened? The next Viceroy Lytton, so he followed another policy which was of proud reserve. प्राउड रिजर्व में क्या था कि आप कुछ एरिया को रिजर्व रखोगे, सो टू हैव द साइंटिफिक फ्रंटियर्स एंड सेफ गार्ड द स्फीयर्स ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंस. ठीक है, इनको ये समझ में आया कि इस एरिया को रिजर्व रखना ज़रूरी है. वी नीड टू सेफ गार्ड दीज रीजन्स. द रीज़न बीइंग दैट द रिलेशंस विद अफगानिस्तान, वी जस्ट कैन नॉट लीव इट एनी ambiguous, as in having no clarity, having no certainty, having no clear picture of how the things will happen. ठीक है, तो दिस इज़ हाउ दे डिसाइडेड टू गो अहेड विद दैट. चलिए, ये तो हो गया फर्स्ट अफगान वॉर, एंड वी आर सीइंग कि ब्रिटिश बुरे तरीके से, ठीक है, दे फेल्ड हियर इन दिस केस. सो दे वर वेरी अनॉयड बाय दिस, एंड इन द फर्दर क्लासेस जो हम करेंगे अगले क्लास में, जब आप सिंध एंड पंजाब की बात करोगे, यू विल सी कि दे वांटेड टू कंपेंसेट फॉर दिस लॉस ऑफ द फर्स्ट अफगान वॉर इन द सिंध एंड द पंजाब रीजन. ठीक है, सो रिमेंबर दिस पॉइंट फॉर द टाइम बीइंग. How did this second Anglo-Afghan war happen? Now there was this new ruler in Afghanistan, शेर अली, क्योंकि यहाँ पर दोस्त मोहम्मद की तो डेथ हो गई है ना. ठीक है, so he wanted friendship with British and Russia both. Now he wanted to have that diplomatic relation कि मेरे को दोनों के साथ मैनेज करके चलना है. And he refused to keep a British envoy in Kabul also. Definitely Lytton would be displeased by this that how you are also wanting to have a relation with Russia. तो ही इन्वेडेड काबुल. ठीक है, एंड ही इन्वेडेड काबुल, बट ओनली डिड इट आफ्टर द रशियंस दे विड्रू देयर इन्वॉय फ्रॉम द काबुल. तो उनको दिखा कि चलो यहाँ पर रशिया का भी कोई सपोर्ट नहीं है. नाउ दिस शेर अली नाउ गॉट ऑफकोर्स स्कैर्ड एंड फ्लेड, एंड ट्रीटी ऑफ गंडमक वॉज साइंड विथ हिज एल्डेस्ट सन. तो ये तो भाग गया, और इसका एल्डेस्ट सन याकूब खान took over that charge of the Amir, and the Treaty of Gandamak was signed. So you have to remember the name of this treaty also in the context of Second Anglo-Afghan War. So the Amir, the ruler now, was Yaqub Khan. He had, according to this treaty, he had to conduct his foreign policy with the advice of Government of India, which means British government. Also, he had to accept a permanent British resident at Kabul. The government of India had to give all support to Amir against foreign aggression and annual subsidy. ठीक है, कि foreign aggression और annual subsidy के साथ में आपको जो है वो सारा support हम देंगे. Later Lord Ripon came. He decided to keep Afghanistan as a buffer state. ठीक है, between these two regions. I'm sorry it is not written, but between these two regions. आपका इंडिया का रीजन एंड दी सेंट्रल एशियन रीजन. तो ही अंडरस्टूड कि बफर स्टेट रशिया से भी हमें हो सकता है, बाकी सेंट्रल एशियन रीजन से भी हो सकता है. अफगान्स डिमांडेड फुल इंडिपेंडेंस आफ्टर द फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर. जैसे लेटर आपको मैंने बर्मा के केस में बताया कि फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर के बाद इवन अफगानिस्तान, अभी तो क्या होने लगा, अफगानिस्तान वॉज नाउ अंडर द कंट्रोल ऑफ ब्रिटिश, बट इन द लेटर फेज दे डिमांडेड फुल इंडिपेंडेंस आफ्टर फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर एंड द रशियन रिवोल्यूशन. तो ये आपका जैसे 1914 का टाइम, 1917 का टाइम. नाउ हियर द न्यू रूलर अमानुल्लाह डिक्लेयर्ड ओपन वॉर ऑन ब्रिटिश. तो कि ये सारी चीज़ें जब ख़त्म होने लगी तो ओपन वॉर डिक्लेयर कर दिया. 1921 में समहाउ द पीस केम टू देम एंड द अफगानिस्तान रिकवर्ड देयर इंडिपेंडेंस इन द फॉरेन अफेयर्स फ्रॉम द ब्रिटिश. So this is how we complete our discussion on the Anglo-Afghan relations also. So the neighboring three जो हमें cover करना था, major ones that we have covered. The only thing now left in this expansion one is your Sindh, Punjab, and थोड़ा हम अवध पर भी बात करेंगे. That would be done in the next class. Thank you so much guys. See you till then. Bye bye. Take care.